What's up, on exotics? Welcome back to another fun-filled educational video. So today we're going to be taking a look at carpet viper breeding, more so specifically Echiss occelatus, which is this species right over here. Now I want to start this video by saying breeding this species is 100% the easiest part about this. What's up, my exotic people? What's up, on exotics?
Which kind of makes me think that this female's...
Alright, so now that we're done cleaning,
Introducing them now while I'm busy, yeah? Gonna be defensive before she...
let me actually give you guys a hint, right? This
Look at how grabbing this
fun-filled educational video.
absolute maximum effort about it.
We're talking Echiss.
I'm with you.
But first, now I want to start this video by saying breeding this species is 100% the easiest part about this. The difficult part comes when the babies are here. So last year I successfully bred my trio Echiss occelatus. Well, technically I bred a pair. This year I'll breed the opposite pair. And the babies came out. Yeah, what do I have as a reference? Here's a photo. Check out this photo here. You see how freaking small those babies are. Now that's about how big the babies came out as. And here where I'm at with load shedding, it was an extremely big issue getting them to actually keep the food in. So it was very easy to get them to eat the food once it was in the mouth. But okay, we're very much. We'll talk about how to establish those babies at the end of this video. First, we want to talk about breeding these vipers. So Echiss occelatus, just like any viper species, needs to go through a process of cooling, aka hibernation, aka hibernation. So what this basically means is from January, February, March, April side, you want to stop feeding. May, you want to start cooling. What I did was I dropped them 2 degrees a week, and I did that every week on the Monday and the Friday till I got them down to the temperatures that I wanted. Now the temperatures that I wanted was really, really low. And a lot of you guys might actually be shocked by this, but I got them down all the way to 14 degrees Celsius. So this is super, super cold for an arid viper species. But also not really. I mean, if you look at where they come from, well, we'll get to that as well. But if you look at where they come from, the temperatures drop heavy, heavy low. Now these guys, this specific locality is from West Africa. So they're on the outskirts, almost bordering the desert ranges. And they primarily feed there on just about any rodent that they can find. Lizards and skinks and etc. like that. But the babies, more on that again at the end of the video. So after I got them down in temperature, I left them cool down. The only thing I did when I worked in the cages was maintaining the water bowl, right? So really, it's difficult with arid species because some of them you don't want to have water bowls in when you cool them. Others you want to have a water bowl in. With Echiss occelatus specifically, I kept the water bowls in and I kept them full, right? This is just so that if they do need to hydrate, they can hydrate. In general, you want to have that in, except when you're breeding stuff like cerastes and serious cerastes fielding and these type of things. Then you really want almost no humidity present inside those enclosures. All right, now fast forward, start July. These guys actually started waking up on their own. So I haven't bumped up temperatures yet, but I see that they were extremely active. And when I see my temperatures, I see they're reading almost 18, 21 degrees Celsius. So this is warming up temperatures, right? So this is exactly what they were doing. They were starting to warm up, starting to actively cruise around and, coming out of hibernation. So once I saw that, I realized that my environment, my external environment where I stay, was warming up a lot quicker than it did last year. So I did, in fact, actually increase their temperatures the same way that I did when I was cooling them. So it was a 2-degree increase every Monday and every Friday till I got them back to the temperature, which is 34 degrees basking. So once I got them to that temperature, the fun began. I started feeding again. The male refused his first meal out of cooling, and then both females obviously smack the food. So you can expect your males to more often than not go off food when it comes to breeding. I gave the male another chance at food. He ate, and then I fed the females again. Both females have now shed, and the male has shed, which means it is prime time to start pairing these animals. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. So to pair them, it's a very hands-on experience, right? You need to be present, you need to be actively watching when you pair any species, but more so specifically vipers. It's very common for the males to actually chow down on the females, and you do not want to lose a male because your female chowed him. So for the first half hour to an hour, you have to attentively pay attention to them and watch them. And yeah, so that's actually what we're going to do now. We're going to jump right into that. Enough of me sitting here and explaining to you guys how to do it. Now I'm going to be showing you guys how to bed. All right, and now we get to the fun part. There's the male right there at the back. He's looking at us. He knows what's up. He's about to get paired. There's the female that successfully bred last year. And then this is the female over here that I want to produce this year. She's a lot prettier with her contrasting reds, but I wanted to skip this female, but I actually decided against it. I think I'm going to pair her again. So, all right, now the first thing I want to do is this female is looking at me exactly like she always is when she's hungry. So first thing I'm going to do is get her out of that feeding mode, right? Because you see, I hope you guys can see. All right, you see that? All of that is her breeding behavior, is her feeding behavior. This is all curious to feed. So what I do generally just to desensitize them is I just, she did that by herself, is I usually just give them a couple of taps so that they can see, all right, there's no chance for food. Now I just quickly need to rinse off my hook because they always blast everything with venom. Yeah, sure enough, there it is. There's some venom on there. All the sparkies you guys are seeing. All right, so now that it feels like I've successfully desensitized her, I'm going to try and introduce the male to her now. Now, what I want to do is I want to actually be able to see her. See, I put on a little glove for in case there's still some venom residue there after rinsing. I want to just be able to see her face. When I pair the male, this just is a point of comfort for me. So I'm going to be introducing the male from the opposite side. So let's close up this side. Now, these are really nasty animals when it comes to their venom. I mean, these guys kill the most people on the African continent. I've said this on a multitude of videos that Nigeria actually built a hospital ward with 100 extra beds just for white victims from this species. And here's the male. Look at this stunning animal. They're a beautiful species. They really are. So, all right, let's get him in here. Now, I can't see the female. She moved. For a slow species, they're super fast. All right, so I'm just going to do that with him. And then we're going to give him a chance to familiarize himself with the environment, which you can technically already see him doing with that tongue, curiously flickering around, trying to see what's the what and what's going on where. Let me just position this camera a little better. All right. So the male's over here. He's right here to the front. And the female's head I saw popping out there by the back. The male's very curiously looking around already. I can see that he's definitely aware of the female, but I can't see if the female is aware of him yet. Hey, dude, you're going the wrong way. Hey, man, you're definitely going the wrong way. Where are you going? That jerky motion is him sensing the female, and he's already jerking so that he can see, so that he can, well, it's technically jerking as a breeding behavior. I just want to move this female where I can see her. I am not comfortable not seeing her. All right, okay, cool. We can see her now. Now it's just me hoping that she's going to be friendly towards this male like she was in the previous season. And look at this male. I mean, that's all our breeding behavior that you guys are seeing there. All of that jittering, cautious moving, all of that's breeding behavior. He's smelling her pheromones all over this enclosure. He's about to realize where she is, and then we should have successful copulation. If you have a look at the female, you can see that she's swelling and everything already. She's developing follicles, or has already developed follicles, and now I just want to be attentive. So what I do is I keep my hook nice and close so that if it looks like she's about to strike, I just tap her on the nose to desensitize her a bit to the situation. I would prefer them not going at the back of this. I think I should try and move this a little bit. All right, let me just keep this here. Just excuse the hook that's in the way, guys. I mean, you know, it is a nervous part of breeding. All right, she's about to see the male. All right. She gave him a little huff. Oops, tap the male there. All right, her head's on over here. Okay, cool. Let's see what's going to go down now here. I know it probably looks very awkward to the camera, me with my hook stick here in between, but I am not keen to lose my only occelatus male, and I don't think there's more individuals available. So really cautious to not, you know, end a species in South Africa. All right, the female is noticing him. She's aware of his presence. Male's definitely doing everything he's supposed to do. He's on her. There we go. yeah, we should actually see a lock now. I'm a little more comfortable now. The female's not striking at him yet. There we go. Male's gonna get down with her. It's such a nerve-wracking process. Sorry for the interruption mid-video, guys, but I have an important announcement to make. First, look at this beautiful blue-eyed leucistic rat snake. Isn't that absolutely incredible looking? So here's the thing, right? Go to my community feed, go check out the community post, guys. I'm giving one lucky subscriber a chance on every single video to actually get a free promotion, right? So that means any link of your choice, I will share on my community post with one photo that you personally have taken of a reptile, and that gives you the chance to get seen by a little bit of a larger audience. We're not big yet, but as we grow, that's obviously going to be a golden opportunity. So how do you win this, right? On every recent video, make a comment, like, and subscribe. After I've seen your comments, after I look through all of them, I usually wait 24 hours, but once I see the best comment, I'll go down to your comment, on your comment, tell you, listen, you have won, and then from there on forward, we'll discuss it on Instagram via DM, and then you guys can share the link that you guys want to have shared on my feed, and then also show me the picture you want me to share. Let me see if I can move this leaf. There we go. Male's up on her. She's not being aggressive towards the male. She did thrash him a bit, but that's typical for females. They're always full of cuck. She's probably got a headache. But that's it. Male's up on her. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to. He's busy rubbing her, getting up on her, putting in all the nice words that he should be putting in. And she's being very, very, very tolerable to him. So as you guys can see, females are gigantic in comparison to males. Females cap out at about 600 to about 800 long. And they're having some really big clutches from occelatus before. I mean, I've seen clutches, well, personally not seen, but I've seen the footage of clutches of 40 to 60 eggs. Can you imagine 40 to 60 of these little babies? I would probably shit myself. But yeah, no, we're going to just give them some time. Let the male do what he's supposed to do. He should figure it out now. Usually on the introduction of these guys, you know, every single time I've introduced the first time, there was a visual lock a couple of minutes later. So we'll leave this on a little time lapse for you guys. Let me see if I can get this glass out of the way. Then we'll leave it on a little time lapse for you guys. And then I'll obviously look at that male looking at my hand. I wouldn't say that makes me too happy. There we go. All right, so gonna give them some chance. I'll obviously be busy in the snake room, making sure that none of them pop out of here. And then, yeah, hopefully we'll get a lock on camera.
Alright, it's day 2 with the Echiss, and we're still seeing very much breeding behavior. As you guys can see there, with their tails being close to each other. So this will most likely result in a lock. And then, on another note, this female is freshly shed out. So next pairing with them is definitely going to be that beautiful male over there to this immaculate looking female over here. So another little trick that I use to help the mood is I gently mist them. Now these guys, you don't really want to mist hard. Hey, leave my fingers alone, my guy. Just want to give them a nice gentle mist, just to further show them that the seasons are changing. It's time to be making a baby. This male's all up in my business.
Alright, so after you've paired them successfully, you will have pearly whites. They've got a very high success rate at hatching with 110% success rate. Meaning, more often than not, you will have twins in those eggs. Now, I'm hoping and I'm praying on your end that you don't get twins, because if the babies are that small as is, I do not want to know what size those twins are. Now, I've been lucky. Last year, I never had any twins. I had 13 healthy pearlies, or 13 hatched perfectly, 0 incubation errors. And what I did was I just made a standard vermiculite solution, so a 1-to-1 ratio. So let's say, for example, you use 50 gram vermiculite. I use 50 milliliters of water, mixed it together. Then after that, I added about a 10 centimeter thick layer, not 10 centimeter, 10 millimeter. So 1 centimeter thick layer of dry vermiculite onto that mixture. Put them in an incubation tub. I'll actually show you a tub. So these were the tubs I used, just a nice plain old simple optimal lock block. So I've made holes all around the top, but you see what I did? I made my holes at the sides of the egg box, so that if there's condensation, that it doesn't drop on the eggs necessarily. And then what I did was I added a ventilation all the way here, all the way there, and then I added secret sauce ventilation holes all the way at the bottoms of everything as well. So what I did was I added about 15 milligrams of vermiculite into here, 50 ml of water, mixed it all up nice and thoroughly, so I get about nice clay consistency. Then after that, I put in a dry layer of vermiculite, and then I actually placed the eggs in, and then I just sealed this box nice and tight, chip, and into the incubator it went. I incubated at 31 degrees Celsius. The incubation lasted about, I have to check my notes, but I'm almost sure it was 54 to 60 days was the standard incubation, and all babies did not hatch at the same time. So what I found was my incubator is warmer at the back than the front. So the eggs that were in the back of the tub hatched first, as per obviously it's warmer there, and then these guys hatched a couple of days later. But again, 100% success rate. So what I did was, when I was incubating, I know a lot of videos you see the guys keep opening up these tubs to breathe the eggs. I did not do that, right? This is why I have ventilation holes all over. What I did do though is about every week, well, let's call it every 7 to 10 days, I opened up my incubator. That was just to allow fresh air to displace all the stagnant air. That's just to prevent mold, and obviously to keep everything oxygenated and alive. Just like any other eggs, they did start dimpling before they hatched. I was considering cutting them, which I'll probably do this year again. Well, not again, but we'll probably do it this year. Is when I see the eggs dimpling, I will give them all a tiny little slit, just to make sure that the hatch rate stays the same. And then the difficult part came with the babies. So as I said, these babies hatched out. Again, look at this picture for reference, how small these babies were. So these babies all hatched out, and the feeding began. So I did a whole video on feeding them over here. I'll show you guys the directory. You can go check that out. But in essence, it was a shit show of pinky parts and assist feeding. And yeah, unfortunately, I never got to establish any of them. I released a lot of the babies unestablished. That time of my life, I just got super busy. I mean, I started my own company, and at that moment in time, it was just super busy. But this year, it's going to be a lot different. I'm not going to be releasing any unestablished babies. I want to go through the whole process of establishing them, and then I actually want to get a whole colony of them going. Because next year, I will be breeding another species of Echiss, which is the occelatus. I mean, look at them over here. These guys are just absolutely magnifique. And then I'm also looking for other species of Echiss, right? So this is where the YouTube community is cool. If you guys know of any other Echiss species in the country, I think there's Lacorus and Pyramidus in the country as well. I just can't find the guys who have them. So YouTube, be cool like that. All the South African people out there watching me, thank you. I support you guys. You guys support me. You guys are freaking awesome. Please ask your friends. Looking for more species. If I'm correct, there's 4 species available in South Africa, and I want them all. It's kind of like a Pokemon craze. I got to get them all. So, all right. Now, without further ado, thank you so much for tuning in. You guys know I love you. You guys know I appreciate you. From Mohana Exotics, much love. Peace out.